Welcome to Tatanka's living room. Thank you all for being here. I wrote these notes down on my take of this. Tatanka's living room, a personal and artistic collective expression of our common journey as a community of nonviolent activists, learning to wear lover, warrior, magician masks in our authentic realization of our reasons for incarnating in this incredible, sensitive time on world between worlds, ages between ages, perhaps between the 11th and 12th attempt for humans to get it right on the planet, facing another possible extinction. So I think of us as a samaj. That's the Sanskrit word for society. A samaj is any two or more people walking in the same direction. When you travel beyond the outskirts of the known universe and pierce the veil of infinity, you do touch down in the heart of your own heart. We live but a few moments, give or take 100 spins around the sun. Perfect love is all there is. We breathe together. Two hearts, one drum. Your tree dances in my gentle breeze. Your back warms in my sun. Perfect love is all there is. We breathe together. Two hearts, one drum. This is so far beyond anything I know. This is so. This is where I am. This is where I want to go. This is so. My life is turned upside down. Sun below, earth above. Doesn't matter now where I am, where I go. Where I am is perfect love. We live but a few moments, give or take 100 spins around the sun. Perfect love is all there is. We breathe together, two hearts, one drum. Your tree dances in my gentle breeze. Your back warms in my sun. Perfect love is all there is. We breathe together, two hearts, one drum. Perfect love is where I am. All there is where I want to go. Perfect love is two hearts. All there is, one drum. This is perfect love. This is so all there is. We breathe, two hearts together, one drum. We breathe, two hearts together, one drum. Two hearts, one drum. Two hearts, one drum. One drum, one drum, one drum, one drum, one drum, one. Woo! I call in the four directions, our ancestors and guides, invitation for all of us to dream, evoke our own personal guides of the light, our own community intent. This is a song that I composed with Snowbird Guards the Children and Guy Lone Eagle. It's all my music and our combined lyrics. It's called The Warrior's Song, and it was really inspired by a Vietnam veteran, a pilot who flew above Vietnam and dropped bombs. First time I played it on the piano, so. On this mountain I sing my grief. I'm a tired warrior that's had no peace, seeking forgiveness from the stars to find a way to heal my scars. Patterns flash before my eyes. I wonder way down deep inside, has sacredness passed me by? All my relations song, I didn't mean to walk alone. I thought I could make it on my own. I didn't want to see or hear. The unspoken words were too clear. They pierced and found a way in me, shattering and breaking all I thought I knew. I have heard the elders speak of this day, but found no comfort in their words. To all my relation song, I didn't mean to walk alone. I thought I could make it on my own. In ignorance, I could not see that you were all a part of me, that you were all a part of me. Warrior, we encircle you. Remember, we once fought with you. Hear the words we've come to say. The path is long, but walk you must. Within each step you'll gain some trust. Engage with life, speak what you know, and watch the wounds begin to close. Sacred one, you have not been passed by. Song, I didn't mean to walk alone. I thought I could make it on my own. In ignorance, I could not see that you were all a part of me, that you were all a part of me. I'm looking at the land and trees and water. Something's changed. They have life, they have meaning. They are not inanimate objects. They breathe life, they pulse energy. They speak the unspoken, even to a warrior who has temporarily gone deaf. To all my relations song, I didn't mean to walk alone. I thought I could make it on my own. In ignorance, I could not see that you were all a part of me. I'm glad you're all a part of me. Called the Warrior Song. This is a magician's song. On the road to Sundance, driven by prophecy, we are called half-breeds and sometimes rainbow seeds. Who are we seeking to be? Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, day, hey, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, day, hey, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, day, hey, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, day, hey. Not yellow, red, black, or white, but we dance on the earth to make it right. The world is at war, trying to find peace. Stars are singing to us, saying be Métis. Métis is a French word for mixed blood. We're all mixed bloods. Who are we seeking to be? Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, 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 yo, hey, day, hey, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, hey, yo, hey, day, hey, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, hey, yo, hey, day, hey, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, hey, yo, hey, day, hey. Dance for the birthright to choose your dream. Dance for the freedom of being a Métis. Through changes has a right to be. Who are we seeking to be? Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, hey. We danced, dreamed, and weaved to the tree to see colors combined, creating a rainbow legacy, revealing great mysteries, trails forever long, all leading back to the one great song. Who are we seeking to be? Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, hey. Dance ancestral fires below your feet. Warriors, lovers, magicians, exploring the mystery. Dancing, dreaming, knowing, choice is never gone. So dance, rainbow people, and know that you belong. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, hey. And to complete the trilogy of archetypes, this is called the Lover's Song. We were part of, in our mystery school, something called the Butterfly Clan. So this is called the Butterfly's Flight. Giant forehills and valleys long, fantasies of flight contained in light, ancestral flowers formed by the four powers, climbing the hill with moon lodge skills. The wisdom of flight is in our sight. A butterfly's flight is no small thing. Through the hills and valleys they sing, seeding the future with their song. So 7 generations know why they belong. Cocoons of light spinning me. Where are these earth passages taking me? Sensitive and free, life pulsing glee. A guest of Mother Earth I've chosen to be. A butterfly's flight is no small thing. Through the hills and valleys they sing, seeding the future with their song. So 7 generations know why we belong. Gentle valleys breeze, wings move with ease. Color codes from mystery release the memory. Ancestral voices singing clear. With the flight in sight, I'm exploding delight in knowing the butterfly's flight. Butterfly's flight is no small thing. Through the hills and valleys they sing, seeding the future with their song. So 7 generations know why they belong. Day and night, wind changing speeds, movement of peace, receiving star seeds. Without a care or need, dream visions without end. Birth, life, death, So I'm going to call this Nature's Song. I never know how this comes out, so I'm glad to have something. Carol knows this. I don't remember what I do until it's done for these piano creations. So just intend and dream along with me. We're all together on this. You know, we live in a time where we're under such attack on all levels, and on the natural level, the water, you know, the radiation, the air with all the geoengineering and chemtrails and all the industrial waste, the earth with all the corporate agriculture, on and on. I've started thinking of plutonium as orphans, you know, these the violence done to uranium to torture and smash and release these little children that it'll take 500 million years to find their way back home, you know, their half-life. So the horrors go on, but we are incarnated here to do something about this. And the bad news is that the assault is everywhere, and the good news is that solutions are everywhere. And together we just need to find the weak links in that and work together on it and create beauty and create sustainability. And so this music is dedicated to that proposition that we can, when we work together, make a difference. Each prayer, each breath, each action, each movement, we're weaving a new kind of alignment in our economies and in our cities and in our personal lives that's in alignment with nature. We learn from nature and we apply our learning to the human systems. gonna try something new. Okay. We're gonna practice each of our voices, okay, on a tone. And this is kind of an exercise. You want to venture out and sing a tone. We can ohm it to start, okay? It can be ohm, all right? At the same time, I want you to pay attention and listen to each other and to the piano. So we'll just see where it goes, okay? We'll just, everybody take a breath. Take a nice deep breath. When someone feels like ohming somewhere, start. I'll play off you. I'll add some tones. We'll make some sounds, but be attentive that it's going to change. So we'll fill it richly. You can totally get into wherever you go, but then have another attention to listen. Okay? First tone will be someone ohming. Well, thank you for joining me in my living room at the Resource Center for Nonviolence. We gather here every second Friday for music and poetry, food, and community. I dedicate my music to the growing movement here in Santa Cruz to create a Constitution protection zone in our city and our county. We're all committed to protecting our constitutional rights. They are a light in the world. They are our sacred trust. But because of the passage of the National Defense Authorization Act and specific parts in that, our constitutional rights are under serious threat. So in true patriotic fashion, we are taking local action here in Santa Cruz to preserve them for our children, our grandchildren. Liberty requires eternal vigilance, and now it's our turn. So please sign the petition, go to the website at Romero Institute, after Archbishop Romero Institute, and sign the CPZ petition, Constitution Protection Zone. And please donate all you can. Ask your friends to join you. This is how we do it, one by one. how you give your time, your heart to this, because you think about it, everything from the food we eat to the education of our children to, everything is under attack, right? So we live our lives full out in community, and those voices for the things that are important to us, right now it's perfectly legal to sweep any of us off the street. It's perfectly legal to disappear someone, torture them, and kill them under this act. That's what's happened. So we can turn that around, and we are going to. And with Danny and Sarah's leadership starting right here in Santa Cruz, and then all the materials and all that we do to turn this around, it starts with getting 1,000 signatures, individuals, and then we'll work up to 10,000. Get all your organizations, every association you're with, have them support it. Because this is not a political issue. This is the Constitution. This is all of us, okay? We win that here, goes throughout the Bay Area, goes throughout California. Imagine California, the first Constitution protection state. Now, they've already passed unanimously or near unanimously saying that this is unconstitutional, what they're doing, but it has no teeth to it. So what we're doing is creating an ordinance in the city and the county that says if you're employed here and you hear about the feds coming in, it is incumbent upon you to tell your elected official, your council person, or your board of supervisors. How simple, how elegant, so that we know it's not done in the dark. We aren't disappeared like that sign up there that happened in Nazi Germany. So this is something we can do. And it's important for every other issue you care about. Every other issue you care about. Because if we can't speak freely about what we care about, I won't complete the sentence. We're just not going to let it happen, are we? Okay. So don't forget to go to the CPC website, Romero Institute, sign the petition, donate what you can. We are the ones we've been waiting for. The earth, the world depends on us. There's no better time, there's no better place. I hope. Okay. This is the Institute for the Study of Nonviolence. We are all weaving a movement here, okay, of humans willing to defend the rights of humans and the rights of nature. And we need to think and feel outside the boxes. That's what Gandhi did. Tomorrow I get to lead my 13-year-old grandson in a rites of passage ceremony that his parents asked me to conjure up, since our young men don't have rites of passages. And I encouraged him to get involved in a community action project, and he picked one, and he said, wow, that was fun. I met a lot of great people. So I said, you can do that anytime in life. You want to go have fun? You want to meet some new people? Volunteer in your local community. He said, wow, I'll do that. And then we read Gandhi the Man together. And the biggest thing he got out of it, he says, it takes one. It just takes one. And then that's two, and then that's four, and then that's... And he loves the part where Gandhi goes to the guy head of the whole British Empire in India and says, I'm going to kick you out, And the guy cracks up, they're having tea. He says, how do you plan to do that? Gandhi says, with your help. So a decade later, the guys recounting, he said, I'll be damned if I didn't help get the British out of India. So we need to understand that humans are trapped in these systems. And we look at the evil and we correct the evil. We look at the injustice, we correct the injustice. And we have to be big enough to see that there are people we might think of personally as our enemies that are also slaves to that system. And to be thinking beyond the immediate battle to include all of humanity in a successful campaign, one that will benefit all of us, and even those, elite 1% that are irreparably gone, but who knows Who knows why they incarnated and what is irreparable or not. If I learn one thing, I don't know it all. So, anyway, it is a pleasure to have a living room like this and to be able to weave together our values. And I look forward to doing this throughout this year together with you. Okay. There's a song I'm going to do on the guitar. I did this on the piano. I did this on the guitar, so this is for Frank. This was in a medicine journey, and Frank was a guy who prepared all our food. We were out in the wilderness in Amarillo, Texas, and he prepared all our food. He was a beautiful man, and at the mercy of his alcoholism. So in the spirit of things, we are living in a society that is addicted on so many levels to so many bad things that we're all aware of. So we do what we can and help ourselves who have our own demons and help our friends and others who have demons. So this is for Frank. Bar H, Duke Ranch Frank. Breakfast, lunch and dinner, Frank. Fire starter, fire tender, Frank. Heart of gold, man. In and out of hot water, Frank. Four-wheel truck through soft sand, Frank. Bright, twinkly-eyed jokester man, Frank. Heart of gold, man. Eyes of sadness, eyes of mischief, Frank. Stories buried in dry earth, Frank. Waiting for rain to be reborn, Frank. Heart of gold. Always there with a helping hand, Frank. Thoughtful attention to detail, Frank. Devilishly gentle angel man, Frank. Heart of gold man. Bubbly, crackling frying pan, Frank. Eggs, potatoes, sausages, Frank. Cowboy coffee, thick, flat bacon, Frank. Heart of gold, man. Texas steak celebration salmon, Frank. You feed us so much more than food, Frank. We will always remember and pray to meet you again, Frank. Heart of gold, heart of gold, heart of gold, man, Frank. I sing with uncounted stars and dance in the infinite light of creation. I dance for the song of my soul and starry seeds of light, those quarks and electrons that pulse me with joy. And as I dance, each spider web strand of DNA that light made flesh turns toward the great central sun. Its light I do not see but feel as warmth tingling in my body. And I drink in the music I do not hear but only taste. I dive into the fires of 12 spinning suns. I pass through the great spiral on my way to the void where I dance the song of the unending zero of endless space, waiting for a spark. I watch the worlds rise and fall and rise again until I feel the pull of creation, drawing me past 11 spinning suns and planets until I reach a small blue-green globe where cell by cell my body is being sparked to life. I fly, a sleek black raven, through the flame to the east, where I will again take form to dance once more in the light of this wild, sweet beauty of Great Spirit dancing with me. You know, I've never done this before. Okay, this is a personal thing that happened up in Sandpoint, Idaho. When was the Iraq War? 2003? Is that when it came in? 2 years after 9/11, I think. Oh, this is a letter that went to our local, I wrote to our local paper. An open letter to the people of the world. Now, boys, there's another way. How often when my brothers and I were fighting, my mom's mom, Grandma Jane, would patiently separate us, gently send us out to do some work together, and voila, we are not fighting, but accomplishing some task in common. This simple prescript, giving combatants or potential combatants work in common, is, I believe, a seed of a way to peace in the world. On Sunday, March 16th, people from all over Sandpoint, Idaho will gather at City Beach to fly a kite for peace. We will decorate our kites with messages and symbols of peace, setting them loose into the breeze. Remember the answer, my friend. It's a simple gesture of intent that we who gather will put into the skies, into our wind, as a sign of our commitment. There is another way than war of aggression on Iraq. We hope and pray that the culmination of the world's efforts for peace will result in a shift in national policy away from war that will incinerate scores of children. We believe not only there is another way, but there's a more direct way to the professed goals of our own government. President Bush now believes that war is the only way to peace, and that removing the Bill of Rights from the American people is the only way to bring democracy to the peace of Iraq. We believe President Bush's reasoning is flawed and his actions are dangerous, not only for the people of Iraq, but for us and everyone in the world. My Métis ancestry includes a mix of Italian, Scotch, Dutch, German, a little bit of Nez Perce. 2 weeks ago, millions demonstrated in the streets of each of those countries. Among the comments of those peace activists are, how would the American people like bombs the ferocity of Hiroshima is raining down upon them because their president was accused as a terrorist responsible for the deaths of scores of innocent people? Makes one think, especially when a recent report estimated the total numbers of people throughout the world who have been targeted and killed as a result of CIA-inspired actions in the vicinity of 8 to 12 million over the last 50 years. That's at least 2 9/11s of horrific deaths per week, every week for the last 50 years. Additionally, the Trojan horse called the Patriot Act has resulted in the loss of rights of privacy, rights to face one's accuser, loss of rights to be represented by an attorney. Moreover, the provisions of Patriot 2, recently reported by Bill Moyers, allow for wild-scale rounding up of those who call for another way, allow for arresting, deporting, even stripping of citizenship on suspicion alone, torture without rights of attorney, without rights to face one's accuser. In short, this administration has made certain that the very thing we profess to be fighting for overseas has been denied our own citizens, all of our citizens, here at home. Some years ago, I sat at my grandmother's bedside as she was dying of cancer. She was asked by friends who knew her as a doctor why she chose to be at home rather than in a hospital. Her reply was, because I'm a doctor. I know the last place a sick person needs to be is in the hospital. She'd been blessed with a life of over 90 years and adventures. She and my grandpa traveled in nearly every country of the world with their little black doctor bags, assisting people where they could as they learned the languages, custom, and ways of all people on earth. She always had a particular commitment to us grandchildren, and we helped her and my grandfather seed gardens and build paths throughout the many acres surrounding the old Spanish adobe in Southern California they had bought as their new home in 1945, the year I was born. In her garden, Grandma planted a rose bush for every nation on earth, and she oversaw us grandkids building paths through the gardens and hillsides surrounding her beloved adobe. Each path received a name: path of friendship, path of justice, path of harmony, path of peace. Each switchback or turn in the path up the hillside was accompanied by a place to sit and rest, a place to relax and look over the valley below, a monument to appreciate the trees and birds. And in each of these places of rest and meditation was nestled a small memento of her travels, a small Buddha or Shiva or Jesus. My grandmother was Christian, attended Presbyterian Church, and respected all faiths as a matter of respect for all people and their choices of worship. As a kid, I joyfully ran through the maze of paths from the hills to the valley below. I would always eventually find my way to the giant oak tree, which was named El Roble de la Paz, the Oak of Peace, which is accompanied by a state of California plaque commemorating the place where Generals Pico and Fremont met to sign the peace treaty between Mexico and the United States, ending the Spanish-American War. The broad branches of the giant oak spread out low and wide, and I explored each limb, moving out as far and high as I could, snuggling into its arms and melting into the space of the wrens and blue jays, robins and hummingbirds. During the week before her death, as I felt my grandmother leaving this plane of existence, I asked her to talk to me about what she was thinking, and she first said, "I just want to cross over. It's taking so long." This was a woman who lived a healthy life for 10 decades, and when cancer took her body, it moved swiftly. She had been home with the disease only 2 months, with my mom's sister, Grandma's eldest daughter, Doris, assisting her with occasional morphine to lessen the pain. She chose to rest on her bed, looking out the double-pane glass at the ferns and birds in the feeder just the other side of the window. I then asked her, since she was so close to crossing over, if she had anything to say about God, religion, or spirituality. She replied slowly, mustering and focusing what little energy she had. "No matter the path, it's all the same as ours." The next day, which would be her next to last, I was missing my own children, wishing they could be here with her and me. I asked her, "Grandma, do you have anything to say to your great-grandchildren?" Her reply, the last words she spoke to me, were typical of her life and her work. She answered, not just to my children, but to all children. Her answer, which took many minutes to complete, is something I offer today as another way for the world to focus in these times of peril, conflict, bloodshed, war that could lead to uncontrollable war. Grandma would say 1 or 2 words, her eyes clear and present, and then rest and retreat to gather energy. I would see her eyes as a panting dog, glazed and less human. Then she would come back, remembering and offering those words plus a couple more. Then she'd go back from woman through dog to what only I can describe as fern, a plant-like existence, a vibration so low, I wondered if she would ever return. Then she would come back to full human presence, offer those words already spoken plus a couple more. In this way, my grandmother offered this other way for each of us today. Her last words: "No child should go to bed hungry. No child should go to bed with the threat of war." I've often thought about these last words of Jane Basher uttered in Glendale, California at her own bedside at her beloved El Rancho Perdido adobe, one of the 7 original Spanish adobes in Los Angeles County, situated next to her special Roble de la Paz on the next to last day of her life. I offer her words as a semilla de la paz, a seed of peace. I planted this seed in my heart and committed to live by its spirit. I believe my grandma and grandpa, who were personal friends of Ronald and Nancy Reagan, would have wanted each of us to focus on the children of Iraq at this moment in time. I remember Christmas in the mid-'80s receiving a Christmas card, which for decades was usually a photo of her and grandpa at the adobe of some remote village in some distant continent they'd visited that year. This year, what I received was a simple card with a copy of a letter she had sent to Ron and Nancy, asking them to remove her from their Christmas list. Speaking boldly to Ron, chastising him for his enormous military budget, reminding him in Ike's words, in the final analysis, every gun, every bomb, every warship, every missile is an act of theft from the children of the world. She knew that even if Reagan's plan to bankrupt the Soviet Union was successful, there was another way. This from a woman who was at that moment for many years had carried on correspondence with women all over the Soviet Union, a woman who was comfortable with heads of state and simple villagers, a woman who knew that Russia was a painfully poor country who would respond to humanitarian efforts far easier than try to mount their own nuclear arms race to keep up with the U.S. She knew that dictators do not fear war. They're trained for it. They do fear love, compassion, and acts of kindness. They cannot survive long surrounded by a free flow of food, shelter, clothing, touch, and open-hearted communication. I believe it's up to we, the living, to muster the will, the intelligence, the gratitude, the simple act of friendship, and focus it in a way that the governments of the world cannot ignore, and the corporations of the world cannot ignore. I believe that if we would choose to focus upon the children of the world, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, gender, language, or religion, and commit ourselves to their welfare, that this would provide one thread, among others, that would enable us to weave a true blanket of protection for all of us who fear the disastrous effects of war. No child should go to bed hungry. No child should go to bed with the threat of war. Now, boys, there's another way. Just suppose by the end of the week, when President Bush has threatened to rain down several Hiroshimas upon the children of Iraq, over 50% of the population of Iraq is under the age of 15. Just suppose that airplane upon airplane, boatload upon boatload would land in the sands of Iraq, supervised under the auspices of the UN, and unload or drop massive quantities of food, medical supplies, whatever else was truly needed by the children and parents of Iraq. The result would be a stream not of deadly bombs, but of life-giving gifts from the American people to those who survived our last war upon them. Desert Storm and the ensuing economic boycott, which resulted in the suffering, starvation, and death of uncounted hundreds of thousands. The gifts of food and medicine would rise to a size of which had never been seen in the history of humankind to be distributed to the people of Iraq. Meanwhile, weapons inspectors would continue to intensify, but with a chief focus on the world now upon the children of Iraq. News stories about the U.S., the breadbasket of the world, would focus on our answering the call of destiny, symbolized by the Statue of Liberty, feeding and assisting the poor, huddled masses. And since much of the poverty and need for medical supplies have been a result of our misguided embargo upon Iraq over the last decade, one that did nothing but help Saddam Hussein's propaganda campaign against the U.S., our actions would both be making amends as well as setting the stage for a greater choice among the people. We cannot bring back the dead, but we can attend to the living who still suffer. Imagine a foreign policy that actually helps victims of abuse and dictatorships. The alternative, to destroy Iraq and rebuild it in the image and likeness of some fantasy of our military-industrial CIA complex, is a scenario right out of the Fourth Reich. Why go to war in order to bring peace? This is the logic of Hitler. If you want peace, do peace. Now, boys, there's another way. This other way would capture the intelligence and commitment of our entire country, and I assure you that the response of the entire world would be one of surprise and relief. Dictators of the world fear the long arm of compassion extended by the people, knowing that offering whatever people truly need would be accompanied by freedom of speech, right to freedom from unlawful search and seizure. Those very things our Bill of Rights supposedly assure. In fact, we could start the process by rescinding the misguided Patriot Act, which denies our citizens the very freedoms we preach that we're fighting for. In order to give us time, we could call on the religious and moral leaders of the world to convene in Baghdad as a shield from aggressive military action. Imagine the Pope, the Dalai Lama, the world's most respected minister and rabbis, all there to witness and to shift this America's response to terrorism. What do you think? Can we be so bold as to do unto others, practice what we preach? Can we think of the children of Iraq as our own, each and all children of God? Do we dare to live the life we dream about? I, for one, am ready, but I can't make one iota difference without you. Let me know what you think and feel. This article's meant as a starting part. Details meant to be altered, tear it apart. Do you agree that no child should go to bed hungry over the threat of war? You ready to do something right now before the bombing starts? I believe we can choose another way. Our lives, long or short, will have had meaning. The same meaning my grandmother's life has had for me. And while we muster support and work out the logistics, let's take a break together, you and I. Fly a kite for peace. Let's fill the air with hopes and aspirations, because truly the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. P.S. Doing this for the children of Iraq, we might notice the children across the street, across town, state lines that are also hungry and need medical assistance. A seed of peace, one acorn, carries within itself all it needs to become a mighty oak of peace. How you doing out there? Good. Good. Just a little bit more to go. This is from our friend who was one of my medicine teachers too. That's all I'll say. I think I'll read it as a poem instead of it's a beautiful song, but I'm not prepared for it. There is a heartbeat pulsing the earth through you and me. River running, mountain touching you and me. Forest holding, eagle cradling you and me. There is a silver strand of light Spider's web, starlit night, moving waters through, a heartbeat pulsing you and me. She comes as cougar on a snowy moonlit rooftop to be with you as you stalk out your dreams. She comes as brown bear, fresh from the river hunting berries as you waken your wisdom of streams. She comes as red hawk, a messenger circling your world as you learn to fly and see. She comes as raven, awakening mysteries of who you are and all you can be. She comes as rainbow, when clouds in my heart have given all the waters they can. She comes as lightning, when ancestors strike from beyond where they speak from the land. She comes as elk, climbing a high road where others have lowered their eyes, taking the low road to be understood or admired or accepted in exchange for lies. She comes simply as the one we know as Rainbow Lightning Elk. And if you've known her medicine ways, you've known the love of unnumbered days and nights to be held in your heart, you're never apart from yourself. You're whole and you know what it means to be free. You're whole again and you know again to be free who you are and all you can be, a heartbeat pulsing you and me. This is another song. I'll read his poem. This was my very first Sundance. I've done a number of Sundance is where you gather in the summertime and you dance to a tree and you offer your prayers. And this was on it was on a reservation. The local people were just plagued with all kinds of addictions. And a number of us looked like a non-native people, and so we faced a lot of kind of dark arrows, but won them over in just dancing for 3 days and 3 nights, you know. No food, no water, 90, 100-degree weather. You learn to be something other than a human to do that. You learn to find your animal. I always found a hawk. You know, I could just fly up to the tree and fly back. Every once in a while, I remember I'm a human. It was just intolerable. But being the hawk was wonderful. So, road song, you know, driving back. Driving across Montana through prairie dogs and rain, feeling grateful for the buffalo that waved across this plain. Feeling grateful for the spirit of the buffalo here still. There are things in life that no amount of violence can kill. The spirit of the buffalo waves in the breeze. That's my medicine name, buffalo waves in the breeze. The spirit of the buffalo waves in the breeze as the spirit of the thunderbird lifts me from my knees to dance awake this dream that Mother Earth has given me and Father Son is blessed with light for all the world to see. Great Spirit lives in the waters of the rivers we run inside. Great Spirit lives in the mountain air we breathe till the day we die. Great Spirit lives in the food we take from animals and plants. Great Spirit lives in the stars, our suns that illuminate our dance, dancing in the sun, sun dance, dancing to the sun, sun dance, dancing with the sun, sun dance, dancing with the sun. We're dancing to the tree of life in the arbor of our lives. We hear with different ears. We see with different eyes. Men and women share 93 million miles of corn. Sun come down the mountain. That's what Idaho means, you know, native language. Sun come down the mountain. Sun come down the mountain. We dance as one. A dream is born. We're dancing for the children of the water. We're dancing for the children of the land. We're dancing for the children of the fire. We're dancing for the children of the wind, dancing in the sun. Sun dance. Dancing to the sun, sun dance. Dancing with the sun. Sun dance, dancing with the sun. Driving across Montana, we're on our way back home, back to the drum and fire, to where we all belong. Back to a place of prayer where rivers freely run, where men and women dance awake the dream, dancing in the sun. Cool. Yeah. Well, okay. There is a women's long dance in Southern California. One woman here has danced that dance. There's a poem I made for Hua, who leads that. Women dancing stars together, hua, 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 hua. Drumbeat carries prayers and songs. One hawk soaring, many feathers, hua, 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 hua. Women dance to heal the wrongs. Sun song sets in the west. Guardian men take their side. Sun song rises in the east. Women heal the great divide. Death and chains, dancing on night mother's belly of clay. Death and chains, women heal the wounds of nighttime's day. As men protect women's space, women dance, awake their dreams. Great Spirit's star blanket weaves their voices, heartbeat alone with the drum. As clouds of wind and water witness, prayers of light bring low to high. Mother Earth transforms all sickness, a treasure on earth from rainbow sky. Women dancing stars together, hua, 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 hua. Drumbeat carries prayers and songs. One hawk soaring, many feathers, hua, 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 hua. Women dance to heal the wrongs. It's a cool dance. If anybody wants to go, it happens every year. And they dance an all-night dance, and about 200 women out by San Luis Obispo Mountains there.
Tatanka.